Cowboys, of course, are 3-4 on the road and take on a Miami team that is 6-1 at home. They're at the top of the AFC East. Tua and Dak both playing excellently, and we just pulled this graphic out of nowhere. Fantastic job. Numbers very similar. You claiming that Dak is the belle of the ball, but Tua's just quietly in Miami.
Wilds
putting up the same
I
record.
love you.
Numbers are better.
I'm the only one who's been defending Tua.
You don't say he's better than Dak?
He's
I
not.
don't think you've been defending Tua, Nick.
Okay.
I think you've been using Tua to tear down Purdy. And I'm not even trying to make it a Purdy conversation, but that's what he's been doing. How in the world is Purdy in the MVP conversation when Tua's not?
It's a great take.
That's not like building up Tua. Tua's sitting there like, I'm catching straight.
No, he's not. Okay, let's just have.
Who you got?
Just saying.
I've
Quick,
got Dallas,
Purdy
and
into
I
it.
think I'm really surprised, Brew, that you don't. Wilds,
'Cause I've been
Wilds,
watching Miami
Wilds
about
has the
Never
memory of a goldfish, and not like with Ted Lasso, where it's a good thing, where it's just like whatever happened in the NFL last week is the only thing that's ever happened. Miami won by 30, Dallas lost by a lot, so Dallas is going to lose. Like that
perfect sense, by the way.
Yeah, I know that. I'm surprised because so many of the fundamentals that you believe about the Miami Dolphins pop up in a negative column in this game. That they're breakdancers and not fighters. Dallas is some fighters. Now, I understand they're a speed defense, but they are a tough. Nobody would argue that they're not tough.
They're not
defensive
like
front.
San
They're not like San Francisco, Baltimore,
right.
Kansas City.
But
I
they're
agree,
tough.
but they are tough, and they have
say so.
a dominant defensive front. And Miami is banged up on their offensive line. Additionally, Miami has had trouble all year against good teams, and by trouble I mean gotten blown out. Dallas, listen, that is a fair critique of Dallas. Brew, what are you laughing about?
I'm just like, you sit here and say, Miami has had trouble all year against good teams,
Yeah.
as if Dallas hasn't.
but Dallas-
I know
team.
last night that the Rams became a good team.
Is Philly, Brew,
Now all of a
you
sudden-
love, you,
I'm
Brew,
just saying,
Brew, who do you
they
think's-
both have had
hold on,
problems
Brew,
against
who do
good
you think's
teams.
winning the Super Bowl?
Philadelphia.
Okay. Did Dallas crush them?
They beat them.
Okay, yeah.
And they beat Dallas, too. I mean-
got it. So what I was about to say before you started giggling like a
It was
schoolgirl
just funny 'cause
was
when
that
you said it like
they have both had
they
trouble.
both don't have
no,
that problem.
No. But Miami is winless. Miami has not competed well at all. They don't have a single
Against good teams? They competed well against Kansas City.
Okay.
I mean,
For sure.
it was 21-14.
Sure. Okay.
Held them scoreless in the
so
second
there's
half.
one game against a good team that they've held it to one score. They have no wins against good teams, right?
0-3.
No wins. And so I'm just saying that so many of the fundamentals that you believe in are true about Miami apply in this game, and you believe in Miami. That surprised me. I think Dallas wins.
Both teams are very similar. I think neither has really proven themselves against the good teams. You're right, Dallas has a great win over Philadelphia, but they're still 2-3 now against teams with winning records because of the Rams last night. Miami's 0-3, haven't played, obviously, a lot of teams with winning records, but played Kansas City tough, held that offense to 14 points, lost by a touchdown. All right, the Buffalo game got out of hand.
Yeah.
All right, and then Philadelphia beat them by like two
scores.
touchdowns. Right.
Yeah.
But not a terrible loss. And other than the Kansas City game, those games took place on the road. Those losses to good teams. So my point is this.
And the Kansas City game was Germany.
Right.
Yeah.
But Miami is good at home. All right. And they're second best team record-wise at home, 6-1. Dallas obviously the best. Miami good at home. Dallas bad on the road. Okay? And then Dallas can be run on. Now, I get it that Miami's not, a bunch of bruisers that are going to pound the ball at you 4 yards, not 3, 4 yards in a cloud of dust. They got game breakers, though. I mean, A-Chain averages almost 9 yards a carry, which is ludicrous. Yeah. And it's a lot of carries, and Mostert is very good. And then they got the receivers. So, if you try to do too much to take away the receivers, the run game is going to get you. If you do too much to take away the run game, Tyreek's going to have a field day, assuming he plays. So, I think it's a good game. I wouldn't be shocked if Dallas wins, but I'm going with Miami.
What's your score?
I'm going to say, I didn't write one down. I'm going to say 31-27.
Have we seen Miami look like Miami? Forget against a good team, against an excellent defense.
Are the Jets good or
why
not?
Did
I hear like the Jets are good and they give quarterbacks problems.
That's
They won 30-0 with no Tyreek.
That's a fair point. Why did the Chiefs beat the Dolphins?
Because Tyreek gifted you a touchdown.
Okay, without that, what would it have been? 14-14.
Yeah.
Got it. So, point being, why did Miami only score 14 points in that game?
You guys have a great defense.
Great defense.
Weak.
Because the Chiefs had the physicality to disrupt the receivers, had the physicality to win up front, throw off the Dolphins' timing. If you don't think Dallas's front and the Gilmore-Bland corner combination can do something at least similar, I think
the Chiefs are better against the run. See, that's my concern about Dallas in this game. The run.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it opens up the pass.
Time now for a segment so hot, my grandmother claims it's just hot chocolate. But when my son asked for a sip while we were caroling, she scoffed and said, "This would knock you on your ass."
Wow.
Because it's that hot.
Grandma.
You've never cursed on the show.
It's upset alert. I didn't. That was a
direct
quote.
Oh.
My grandmother had a little bit of something in her hot chocolate.
A little hot tie.
Did you say that to Billy or Russell?
Caroling. Again, it's fictitious.
Oh, sorry.
But regardless, I'm just trying to say it's a hot segment. Brew, you're up first with a hot upset.
I think this one is hot. I think you guys are going to be surprised by this. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Love it.
Over the Cincinnati Bengals. You know this hurts me to say this because I'm from Cincinnati. Okay, but I'm objective. The Steelers, everybody's down on them. Lost 3 straight. Yep. The receivers aren't trying, right? They're not blind. Like, is not this the perfect setup for a Mike Tomlin team to come out, right, and say, oh, my God, there's Tomlin. Just a year ago, we were like certain, or year or two, that it was going to be his first losing season.
Correct.
And somehow he avoids that. So I think there's that. And on the other side, Nick, you're going to hate this, and you too, maybe, since I heard you on the Bill Simmons podcast.
Oh, thank you.
Jake Browning is about to turn into a pumpkin in front of everyone, okay? Look, he's been great for 3-4 games, all right? We've seen it. We see this all the time. Ryan Fitzpatrick will give you 4 great games. Joshua Dobbs looked like a Pro Bowler for about 4 or 5 games, all right? And then when teams get some tape on you, so on and so forth, just the kid in with the Giants now. Tommy DeVito been looking great for a while, and then last week happened. So I think this is the week, unless you think Jake Browning is like all that, this is the week he becomes the regular Jake Browning again.
Okay.
So
Right in high school.
So this
right.
guy, just a point on each side of it. One is I don't believe Tomlin's ever lost 4 in a row. Tomlin, as a home dog, is one of the best bets in Vegas, over the course of his career. Flip side to that, the Steelers are playing practice squad safeties this week because one guy got suspended for the year. Minka's you're dealing with injuries, and I know the Bengals aren't going to have Chase. They'll still have Higgins, and Browning has played well. The other counterpoint that was not mentioned in that entire dissertation, just 2 words: Mason Rudolph. That's tough.
He's not
horrible. Wilds, what? Based on what? Based on what?
I don't know. I feel like he got bopped. I feel like he got bopped in the head.
No, he was never.
I got bopped in the head.
No,
he's a horrible player.
Wilds, you have Mac Jones-induced Stockholm syndrome, where any quarterback that ever shows a flash, you're like, might be good.
First of all, Mac Jones is much better than Mason Rudolph.
I don't know about that.
We're not turning this into a Mac
go
Jones
ahead.
segment.
Sorry,
but we can if we want. Hubs, can we go Mac Jones here?
Go.
Okay. It's time now for the Puxatawny Phil of football to make his upset alert. I don't know if you've seen the show before, but the reason they call me the Puxatawny Phil of football, if you live in a log covered with fur, actually just a coincidence. It's because I can predict the future. The headline here is Ravens win weird. Like, wow, that's a weird headline. What do you think is going to happen? Well, I think you got a clash between 2 great defenses. And I think eventually one guy's going to do something weird. And Kyle Shanahan in the postgame is going to be like, we played great. I don't know how we're supposed to stop that. I don't know what we're supposed to do. It's just got to be my flat brim hat off to you, Lamar. Lamar 19-1 in his career against the NFC. He's 4-0 this season. Lamar is an underdog. He says he likes to be an underdog. Everybody says that. Lamar actually means it. 8-4 against the spread, 11-1. So easily take the points, even though I'm predicting a straight up 28-17 Weird game from Lamar. He does some amazing things. 28-17.
Nice coach.
Ravens.
All right, time now, Wilds.
For a hot segment. No?
Well, let's. I mean, I
He
hope.
got worse?
Just sell it.
Nick's
Hot
picks,
segment.
show it.
Already
Listen,
bad.
let's just deal with it, guys. Listen, I've been here before. We're 21-27 on the year. Two of those losses were just dominant in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
You might say, Nick, when have you been here before? All your TV picks, every year you had a winning record. That's true. But once upon a time, before I was on TV, I was down so much in the season, I tried to sell my prized card collection at a pawn shop. Found out it was worth way less than I thought. Ended up having to donate plasma just to cover the debts.
Wow. This is something you should tell your therapist.
Well, telling America right now, it's Christmas time, it's holiday season, and I don't want to have to cancel Christmas, which means gotta go 3-0. I'm not going back to plasma clinic, America. Indy plus 2.5. Arthur Smith 13-22 against the spread after week 5 in his career. Indy's a playoff team. They're well coached. They're going up against Taylor Heineke and Arthur Smith. The wrong team is favored. Give me a break. Indy straight up, and I'm getting the points. Next,
Got it.
Detroit laying 3 at Minnesota. Guess where Minnesota plays? A dome. Guess who the quarterback for the Lions is? Jared Goff. Guess where he likes playing? A dome.
Domes.
Thank you, Wilds. Jared Goff in a dome. 32-16 against the spread. Conversely, Nick Mullins in any environment, if it's professional football, 5-11 against the spread. Detroit clinched the division first time in 30 years. Lay the 3 points. And lastly, even though these two dopes disagree, Dallas getting a 1.5. Dallas won 9 straight by an average of 19 points, coming off a loss last few years. Miami's offensive line's way too banged up. But Miami's next 2 games are way bigger. Dallas, meanwhile, knows Philly is vulnerable, and maybe, just maybe, they think, oh, wait, San Francisco could lose to Baltimore. Maybe the 1 seed's back available for us. So the picks for this week, Indy plus 2.5,
Like
Detroit minus 3, Dallas plus 1.5. That's a 3-0 weekend.
Love it.
Gosh darn it, we need it.
You got it.
We need it.
I just want you to know, if you need it, I'm not going to give the bathrobe back.
No, I'm not. No, no. It's all right.
But-
I wore mine last night.
Yeah, I did
so,
too. So
Okay, listen, guys, don't worry
Go
about it.
heavy on the Colts, less on the Cowboys.
I like the pressure. This is where I thrive.
Coming up next, Philly blowout. It's time to do it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.